gonna be so cute. Oh, I love it. I cannot believe I am working on these nightstands again. Oh well. You know what they say? Third time's a charm. Better be anyways. Or I swear to God you go in the burn pile. Good morning guys and welcome back to the studio. Today we're going to work on a commissioned set with a design aesthetic I have never done before, but I am actually really excited to try. Are you guys familiar with steampunk design? Steampunk is a richly imaginative aesthetic, blending Victorian elegance with futuristic inventions powered by steam or clockwork. Think top hats and brass goggles and cogs and gears, if you will. Anything industrial, but with a sophistication of Victorian flair. That is steampunk, and it's generally seeped in the sepia type of a color. Jewel tones can be used, but even over that, it would be washed with like a sepia. It's not for everyone, but it can be quite beautiful when done in the correct way for the piece. I have these nightstands over here. This will be my third makeover on these nightstands. Yeah. They are like the bane of my existence out here for furniture. They really are. I hate them. But today I am going to get over the fact that I am over them. I have been commissioned once again. Third time's a charm, right? I have been commissioned to give them a whole new look down this steampunk road I've never been on, and I'm actually really very excited to do it. And I truly hope that this one goes through and that they leave my possession and they go to a new home someplace where somebody else can truly enjoy them. Because if they don't, I'm literally going to throw them in the burn pile. Try me. Now, the lovely lady that purchased my Dark Academia Antique Serpentine dresser, she is the one who wants the nightstand, and I actually gave her choices of decoupage to choose from to see which piece speaks to her. This is going in her house. It is her piece commissioned to me. I want her input. I don't want to just make that decision, so I like to give choices, which I did, and she chose this adorable decoupage called Whiskers the Traveler. This is so stinking cute, y'all. I love it. Since it is going on the door, however, and the door has a kind of a wonky shape to it, which you will see, I will not be able to put it on like this. So this isn't going to be one of those decoupages that goes out into a blend, if you will. This is going to be slightly different, but just as fabulous. At least I hope so. So I'm actually going to dissect the decoupage and I'm going to place them on the piece where I want them. I'm also going to be adding some amazing embellishments, changing out the hardware to something incredibly savvy that I think is absolutely right up the steampunk alley, at least on the drawers. I still have to figure out something for the doors, but we are going to poke through that hardware stash that I have, and I know we'll come up with something that will work. As I'm doing it, I don't really have a clear vision in mind. I have a direction. I have a direction that I want to take it, but the vision isn't entirely clear. I'm kind of going to let the piece guide me as to which way it wants to go next, and it's going to play out in real time for me as I'm filming it. So I'm just kind of as excited as you guys are at this exact point with you watching it, because I don't know. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I have no idea.
The suspense is terrible.
Before we get going on this incredible transformation, however, I want to take a moment and thank today's sponsor, Otter. Gemstones are more than dazzling ornaments. They're ancient vessels of vibration, memory, and quiet power. Born deep within the earth over millennia, each stone carries a unique energetic signature shaped by pressure, heat, and time. These vibrations, subtle yet profound, are said to resonate with the frequencies of life itself, aligning with emotions, intentions, and the rhythm of the natural world. Whether worn, held, or simply admired, gemstones invite us into a deeper dialogue with the unseen forces that shape our inner and outer landscapes. They are not just lifeless objects, but living archives of the planet's story, each one humming with possibilities. Inspired by the playful wisdom of the otters, each piece chosen will complement the wearer's journey. Otter Spirit only uses authentic gemstones, and they're put through rigorous testing to make sure that they meet the standards of this family-owned brand. With their wide selection, you are guaranteed to get exactly what you're looking for. And they offer free exchanges and a 2-year warranty. Pick your gemstones by the intention or by the zodiac. Whether you want just one or a complete set, they get you covered. Now I have the Gemini Vulnerability Pad, which includes turquoise for clarity, unakite for emotional balance, and green jade for harmony and growth. The best part about this brand is for every bracelet sold, $1 is donated to saving the sea otter. An animal that was once near extinction is now making a comeback thanks to conservation efforts just like this. As a thank you for being part of our little community here, Otter Spirit has a very special offer for my viewers, so you can check out their bracelets for yourself. Just visit the link provided down in the description below. Check it out, see what they have, and don't forget to enter the code SeanMarie20 at checkout for 20% off your order. It's a pretty good deal. I love mine and the energy and intentions that they help manifest in my life. And on a side note, they're super cute, and I love the little otters on them. So adorbs. Well, I want to thank Otter Spirit for graciously sponsoring this portion of today's video. Be sure to check them out for yourself. There's so many to choose from. You are going to love them. Now let's get back out in the studio and back to work. Now I'm going to be honest, this is not how these nightstands started. They were a solid white, that Benjamin Moore Dove White with the Pottery Barn top. I had done these several times, so all of these colors underneath is all of the different paint layers underneath. And I just wanted to get ahead of the project. So I grabbed a 220 grit and I just started gently sanding over it just to give it tooth so that primer could grab it again and I could start this whole shebang all over again when this happy accident happened. When I asked the woman who commissioned these pieces what colors she was thinking, because I like to have a range and then pick what goes from there, she had specified that blues and grays were something that would work really well, and whoa, look at that. I have blues and I have grays. It looks so good. So what I am thinking honestly is I am going to use this to my advantage. Even these doors, they're very country, but I am going to try to make this as industrial chic as I can. But I mean, I kind of really like that. And I think the decoupage would look fabulous over here. And then I think I can antique this whole piece to really give it that aged look. That's what I'm thinking. That's the plan. I'm going to start to deconstruct the decoupage paper because it won't fit like this. So I'm actually going to dissect the image and take the cat with the suitcase as one, the hot air balloon as another. I want the two butterflies separate, and then there's like a twosome pocket watch in the lower left corner, and I want that as well. And instead of cutting these and leaving a sharp edge, I'm going to use a paintbrush with water, and I'm going to go over the edges. This makes it so that you can tear it very easily and it will feather. The only important factor you need to remember is always tear down and away from your image to avoid getting a halo on the outer corners. The decoupage has a sepia tone to it already, and the cabinets have that warm dove white tone to them. So I decided before I do the decoupage, I actually want to antique these cabinets, and in order to do that using glaze, they first must be sealed. So I'm taking all the pieces outside, and I'm going to give them all some good coats of poly spray to seal the surface so that I can move that glaze around easily. I need to bring this white and this blue into a more grunged sepia kind of a look. I'm going to be using my favorite antiquing medium, which is Rust-Oleum glaze in the shade Java. I think that has a really good sepia look to it. After all, sepia is just kind of like a burnt umber with a touch of black to it, you know? Here goes nothing. difference. Look at that aged patina. The colors still pop through. It looks gorgeous. Let's take a peek over here. You can see this has that sepia tone against the whites. Bring it here. And it is much more cohesive to the whole design. It's so cute. Everything is glazed and now it has to sit and cure, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to dig through my hardware and see what I can come up with for the doors on this piece. I have the drawer hardware coming from Amazon tomorrow, I believe, and it's going to look amazing, but I need something equally amazing for the door. I did notice that one of the hinges is actually missing one of the decorative finials that sits on the center point of the hinge, and I know exactly how to fix it. I'm gonna use my amazing mold putty, and I'm gonna make a mold. This is a 50-50 process. This is small. I don't need an awful lot. Take that. I forgot to put my gloves on. It's just kind of greasy. Gotta incorporate it really good. I'm gonna make a ball. And I'm gonna take my finial and I'm literally pressing this in. One side will be exposed and kind of flat, which is okay because I will put that against the piece and you'll never see it. I want it flat for pouring once it's molded. I'm just gonna let that cure. I've let this sit, and now this has created a kind of a flexible mold. Take this piece out and I'll put it away so I don't lose it. I am left with an exact replica in this mold that I can now pour using my resin, and this will replicate the piece I don't have. I only need a tiny drop of this. Way too much. Never waste. I let this go to the hard stage instead of taking it out in the pliable stage because I need this to be hard. Oh yeah, it worked. All right, everything has set up for the night. Everything is good and dry and hard, and Amazon came. I am really excited for that. There's a lot of goodies in this package that I am going to add to the steampunk design, but first I want to get the decoupage on the doors. To do that, I'm going to use my favorite medium, which is Elmer's glue, the one that dries clear. Lots of people ask me about that. The most common question is, aren't you afraid it's going to yellow over time? And the answer quite simply is no, I'm actually not, because I'm going to seal this piece with a poly spray. And the job of the poly spray is to seal it, which it will, keeping the oxygen off of it, which is what turns things yellow after all. So no, I save a ton of money, I buy it in bulk, and it works great.
I don't have to try to be the one. Celebrity chewing on a bit of mint leaf in a 18-story room. You never even had to be the lucky one. He followed, descending spiral staircase into the tangle so very young. When you're giving me this side by side, you bet I'm gonna rip around. You got me out there.
One of the things I have been waiting for Amazon to bring me is a stencil, because I want to do a raised stencil on the sides of these cabinets. I think it's gonna look good. Got me a little cog kind of esque stencil, and we're gonna center them on each one, And I'm gonna use a little bit of my Fusion embossing paste, and I'm gonna go over this, and it's just going to be a very slight, subtle, raised stencil, but you're gonna see it when we go over the sides with glaze, because I haven't done the sides yet because of this. And to kind of eyeball it. Hard to see, but it is there. It's very subtle, and it will come out a bit more when I put the glaze on. You guys ready to see the handles I picked out for the top drawer? So I got like suitcase handles, and they come with brass ends. Put the ends in there like that, and then you bend it out. These are gonna look so good. These are 2 red and 2 new, so I am gonna grunge them up a bit using my glaze. When I'm done applying this, I need to leave the handles and the sides of the dressers to set up for the night so that I can just finish them up tomorrow. I want to wrap this up today so it can cure overnight, and then Miss Holly can come pick them up this weekend and they can get out of my shop finally. Alright, I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum glaze in Java, and I'm going to do the sides exactly the same way I did the rest of it. But first, I need some tunes. Filming, and I actually wasn't. I did seal these pieces with a poly over it. That's going to protect my decoupage and keep all of the colors exactly the way they are. I think they absolutely came out amazing. I love the look of this feminine side of steampunk design, and I think I nailed it, at least for my first attempt. Because this was the 3rd time doing them, having all of that finish and colors underneath really worked to my advantage this time around, and I was able to get this gorgeous rustic patina that once I added the glaze to it and really antiqued and washed it out, gave it that sepia tone, really brought it to the steampunk vision even further, matching those adorable Whiskers the Traveler decoupage paper that I deconstructed to make sure I could fit it on the door, and it looks amazing. I think it's absolutely adorbs. I hope Holly enjoys it as much as I did. This was so much fun. I have never done this design aesthetic, but I did find that I truly enjoy this type of aesthetic. And I think I have the perfect piece to do this on again. Okay, reel it in, back to reality. So, can we talk about these suitcase handles for a minute? This was the cutest idea for the drawers ever. This worked so good, and doing that aging technique on them, bringing them from that new red leather look into this weathered old aged leather look was absolutely perfect. I even love the antique brass ends it has on it. It just ties into that steampunk aesthetic even more. I couldn't imagine using anything but these handles on here. And this is something I'm actually going to keep in mind for future designs. It's not just for steampunk. Like, this is super, super cute, and I love it. The antique brass upholstery tacks really helped to bring that steampunk vision even further into what I was going for, as well as those corner brackets. Everything just tied together so nicely, and then adding those adorable little cogs here and there really pulled the piece over the top as far as I'm concerned. Not too much, not too little, just enough to make this vision beautiful without being over the top. You know what I mean? Because you can get over the top. You just have to know when to stop and say, you know what? This looks absolutely fabulous, because I do love it. And this also shows you that you don't need to take a decoupage project and master a blend out to make it work. Everything just totally matches cohesively. The sepia color that the decoupage has is carried through over the entire piece, bringing it all together cohesively and making them, even though they're just placed there, work. And they work really well. I left the faux pottery bond finish on the top because it was in perfect condition, and the warm tone of it really goes with the entire look of the piece, so I'm not making more work for myself if I don't need to. Also, that finial I made out of the poured resin looks really, really good. You cannot tell that this is not part of the original piece or that it's made out of resin. And we are done. I couldn't be happier with how they came out. You will have to let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this design aesthetic that I did on these per the client's request? Did I nail it or did I fail it? I think I nailed it for my first time. Always room for improvement, but I'm pretty happy with how this came out, and I love the finish. I'm obsessed. I really am obsessed with the finish on these. They look so good. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me again out in my studio. I have so many more projects coming up. Recipes, DIY, decor, hauls. If that sounds like something right up your alley, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and give this video a like. I am not a big channel, but I love interacting with you guys, talking with you guys, hearing your opinions and your thoughts. And I take away just as much from you guys as I hope you take away from me. Once again, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time on the flip side. Bye, guys.